mind is as the lights of an old abandoned mansion, a seemingly cozy place I for ages found myself in.
Hello guys, it's Simpiwe, your favorite poet. Some know me as Simpower, some know me as the guy who writes poems, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a reaction video to Conelius Jones' performance showcase. Conelius Jones, the guy who got Simpiwe to do poems. The story, I'm going to be telling the story on my first ever episode of Poet Talks, which will be dropping very soon. So if you guys have any questions for me, I suggest you go down to the comment section, leave the question, and I'm going to answer it on my Poet Talks. It's going to be the first episode will be a live stream, and I hope you guys are going to tune in. And yeah, let's get into the video, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel.
At home, the stars seem closer because they are weighed down by the desperate wishes of 11-year-old soldiers. The shacks.
I'm sorry guys, let me just fix, the issue of lighting, because it's a huge issue. Yeah. Just do this. Anyways guys, I'm sorry about that. I had to try and fix something about the lighting. Let's get back to the video.
At home, the stars seem closer because they are weighed down by the desperate wishes of 11-year-old soldiers. The shacks shelter prophets breathe their dreams with lit candles. I saw a young girl who resembles the Greek god Atlas, balance the fragile lives of her siblings on her shoulders. Those who caught their dreams are now being pursued by time, but to the few who've nursed their faith, time is but an envious ghost that watches from a distance and wonders how they escaped. You see, I would offer her the sun, but the father says I have but a few moons to learn the language she smiles with. She holds a second sky behind her eyelids. We both want to turn our backs on this place and become fading silhouettes in the distant horizon.
Okay, guys, this guy is a dope. Where do I start? The first few lines, he starts by saying at home, what by 11-year-old soldiers, and then he goes to candles, and then he goes to idlers, and then is it idols? And then he goes to balance, and then he goes back to the same rhyme scheme he began with shoulders. That is using multiple rhymes in basically the same scheme. Compound rhyming is what I like to call it. I don't know if that's the exact definition, but I feel like that is what it is, and that is very hard to do. It's not very easy to do, because you have to make sure that the meaning is not lost. And one thing that I notice here is he's very metaphoric, and also it sounds like he's writing a an allegory, which is, it's kind of almost like he's telling you a certain story, and it doesn't seem like he's talking about that story, because the name of the poem is The Second Coming, of course. So obviously this has to be meaning something, because he's talking as if he saw it. So let's just keep listening, and hopefully we can break it down.
But the ash that is our flesh, will one day meet with the dust from the kingdoms we built to mark time.
Ooh, I like that allusion. The ash that is our ash will one day meet with the dust. From the Bible, ash to ash and dust to dust. I like that.
And so I sent my suicide note to forever to let her know that I've stopped dying. It is only my people. My people are caught in a daily and incessant routine where the end refuses to begin. Knowledge pains.
He was just going overboard with just his literary devices here. Where the end begins, the end refuses to begin. I think this is called something around juxtaposition, if not a paradox. I think it's juxtaposition actually.
Promises of power to frail fingers. The liquor drowns early memories of my late sister. The children
Again with the juxtaposition. Early memories of my late sister. Early, late. It's different ideas, opposite ideas. Early and late are very opposite ideas, but he's saying them in a way that drives the point,
Children with everything to live for are the only ones listening when these graves whisper. Death feeds the children of grave diggers. The scent of decay lingers. But it fails. It fails to reach the thieves chewing on our fathers' abandoned dreams for dinner. And so a few more young girls without answers choose. They choose to escape motherhood and bleed the prayers of their wounds. The chapters of my childhood we played hide and seek on the streets, and no one knew. No one knew that we'd soon have to search for each other in hollow tombs. And so I scattered the remains of my innocence the day I found the skeletons of God in the closets of their holy temple.
Okay, I should have waited. He said, I scattered the remains when I found the skeletons of God in the closets of their holy temple. I sense a very religious, a very in-depth religious commentary coming. Let's just listen. Because this guy is like, what he does is when he sets up something, he doesn't, it's almost as if he doesn't say anything for nothing. When he says like a setup, it always has a payoff. So let's hear the payoff.
The God within reaches for the child I have always been, with eternity perched at the tips of his fingers.
Okay, so he said, what was that line? He said, found the skeletons of God in the closets of their holy temples. They hid the skeletons of God in their holy temples, which means skeleton. I think he's alluding to death in a way. So if they found skeletons of God in the holy temples, religion or maybe churches or whatever this religious institution is referring to has killed the idea of God and then hid, the remains in their holy temples. And then he says, but the God within, which means they might have killed God in their own way, but God is within. And according to Christianity, God is supposed to, our bodies are supposed to be the temple. So there is a God within, which isn't the one from, whatever the temple is, the external temple.
And I awaken to watch those who once were only ascend to join the stars that bear the weight of our wishes. I wander through the labyrinth of shacks anchored on the hope of change, and realize this world has always built the biggest crosses to break the backs of a people born with the heart of God and to shatter the...
Okay. Imagery with this guy is just number one. And also, he's, I don't know what to call this thing, I've forgotten. He uses almost everything of just literary devices. He said a cross, I think it's allusion, He said, this world has always built crosses, right? Something about crosses. A cross is a symbol of Christianity, which is a religion, but also a cross is a persecution device. So if someone builds you a cross, they are going to persecute you. And it says a cross that breaks the backs of I'm sorry about that, guys. I had a few minor issues. So yeah, without further talking, I get lost in my rants. Without talking much further, let's just get back into the video.
Has always built the biggest crosses to break the backs of a people born with the heart of God and to shatter their halos into a crown of thorns.
Again, images, a halo, which is a symbol of holiness and divine perfection, and they're shattering this divine perfection and forming a crown of thorns, which was the Jesus Christ. Obviously from the Bible, Jesus Christ got a crown of thorns in his head. And I guess whoever these people is talking about, his people, the people with the heart of God, their holiness is being used against them to persecute them. I think that is what he's saying with that line.
But beneath these bridges slumbers homeless oracles, and these famished homes with their pillars crumbling are cradling and raising the wrath of a second coming.
Okay, I think that's gonna be the end of that video. And yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. And yeah, this is very scary for me. I'm sure the video quality is gonna come out trash and the audio quality trash, but we're just gonna keep working on that up until we can perfect it. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like, and also leave your comments. Any question that you have for me, just leave it in the comments, and then when I drop Poet Talks, I'm gonna just address it. And yeah, that's